Our correspondent Mohammed Adow joins us now here in the studio. Now, Mohammed, how are they going to implement this directive? Will people comply with the Kenyan government's order?
Well, it's not known whether the people will comply, and most probably not. But then implementing this directive is going to be a very tall order. And the biggest obstacle that is facing this is corruption in the security system, particularly because the people who continue to live in the camps, the 500,000 refugees that you hear about, are the poorest of the poor. All those who could afford to rent houses have already left and are living in major cities in the country. They've always paid through, they've always been paying the security officers whenever they came around to look for people without the proper papers. So what will stop them from doing that right now? And on top of that, there are also a huge chunk of those refugees who live in urban areas who've got proper papers. They've got the legal papers, residence visas that have been issued by the Kenyan government, either legally or, through them obtaining fraudulently. Now, what is the Kenyan government going to do with these people who've got the proper papers? And above all, there is up to 4 million indigenous Kenyan Somalis who live in the third largest region of Kenya.
Who are Kenyan
citizens.
citizens.
Who are Kenyan citizens. And they've been complaining over the past decade or so that they're not being issued with the Kenyan identity papers. And the government in its defense has been saying it cannot identify between who is from across the border or who is a Kenyan. And now, what's going to happen to all those indigenous Kenyans who do not have the papers? So implementing this is going to be a really daunting task for the Kenyan government, I must say.
And even if they do get them all into these camps, will this directive work? Will it stop the violence? Because they've done this sort of relocation before, haven't they?
Well, they've issued such directives before. They've bundled people into vehicles and taken them back to the camps. Courts across the country keep on returning refugees back to the camps on a daily basis. Has it stopped? No, because the situation within the camps itself is a problem, and the refugee camps in Dadaab are known, it's public knowledge, have been recruitment grounds for groups like Al Shabab, because there are thousands of young men, some of them born in the camps within the last 2 decades. Some of them came when they were young. They did not get proper education. They do not have any recourse to jobs. They do not have any opportunities. And due to this lack of hope and the hopeless situation that exists in the camps, not only have these groups been coming to the camps to recruit people who they've been taking back to fight their cause inside Somalia. The warlords have done it before Al Shabab came into the Somalia's political arena or into the conflict in Somalia. And now taking more people back to the camps will only be counterproductive, many people feel.
Yeah, it could actually backfire. Mohammed, thank you so much for filling us in on what's going on. Mohammed Adow, our correspondent.